NASCAR is a fiercely competitive sport, with 40 different teams racing inches away from each other for hours. The competition doesn't stop with the drivers and teams though. There are competing sponsors in every single race. Coke versus Pepsi, Budweiser versus Miller, UPS versus FedEx. All happening week in and week out. And I wanted to see who was on top in the sponsorship battles. Hi, my name is Matt, and this is a new series brought to you by Dogleg Media. In this series, we will look at sponsors in the same industry fielding cars at America's highest level of motorsports and how they stack up against each other on the track. Today we look at the battle of the home improvement stores, Lowe's versus Home Depot versus Menards. Each of these franchises have won at least one championship, and some more recently than others, and each having very different histories within the Cup Series. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop. I post history-themed NASCAR content every single week. But with that intro out of the way, let's dive into the battle of the home improvement stores. We start this video with the home improvement chain that has had the longest history in the sport, Lowe's. We will do this video in 4 parts, telling the history of all 3 sponsors and then doing a total at the end with all their stats. Let's first look at the stats for Lowe's. Lowe's has 83 total wins and 7 championships, and it's competed in 871 total Cup Series races. Lowe's Companies Inc. is a home improvement retailer that was founded in 1921. It was founded in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and is now headquartered in the heart of NASCAR, Mooresville, North Carolina. My research shows that the company would first sponsor a Cup car in 1960 with Jimmy Pardue. He would run 25 races in 1960 with sponsorship from Lowe's, but I wasn't able to find any photo evidence of this ride with Lowe's represented. The earliest photo I have found with Lowe's represented is a pretty wild one. David Pearson would drive Dale Earnhardt's number 2 car at Talladega in 1979 with sponsorship from Lowe's. Earnhardt's regular Wrangler colors honestly fit the sponsor pretty well. This is a wild story that I had no idea about until researching for this video. Also, Pearson nearly won the race, finishing second. The first full-time effort Lowe's would put together would come in 1995 with Brett Bodine at Junior Johnson and Associates. Lowe's would sponsor Bodine for the 95 and 96 seasons with a best finish of 9th, happening twice. Still winless as a sponsor, they would throw their support behind Mike Skinner and Richard Childress Racing to start the 1997 season. They would be with Skinner from 97 until 2001, and they found some success with them, albeit still not finding victory lane. Skinner would record 10 top 5s with Lowe's, coming oh so close to victory with a 2nd place finish at Talladega in 2000. 2001 would be a weird year for Lowe's, with Skinner getting injured early on in the season. They would then announce that they would be leaving RCR midway through the season to join Hendrick Motorsports to support a young new prospect. The final chapter in the Lowe's story starts here, with young up-and-comer Jimmy Johnson securing support from the home improvement retailer to cap off the 2001 season. What ensued was arguably the greatest sponsor-driver combo in NASCAR history. Every ounce of Lowe's success in the Cup Series belongs to Johnson, earning all 83 of their wins and all 7 of their championships. The other home improvement stores in this video would win with multiple drivers, but not Lowe's. Their reign lasted from 2001 until 2018, and let me tell you, as a Jimmy fan, I was completely spoiled during this era. They would record a record 5 championships in a row, a record that honestly will never be broken. Their departure from the sport was a tough pill to swallow, but hey, they lasted longer than the next store to be discussed. Yeah, without me completely going overboard and staining Lowe's and Jimmy Johnson, this one is fairly short and sweet with only 3 full-time drivers in their history. But then again, that is really the story for all 3 of our competitors today. We move to the second home improvement giant on our list, and it is honestly the major direct competitor of Lowe's, Home Depot. Let's take a look at the stats for the orange team. Home Depot has 34 total wins, 2 championships, and it's competed in 502 total races. Home Depot has a very brief history with the sport, and like Lowe's, the majority of their success is thanks to one driver. They would officially enter the sport in 1999 for the arrival of IndyCar champion Tony Stewart. They would hit the ground running, winning 3 races in their inaugural season. They wouldn't slow down either, with Stewart winning races with the sponsor in all 10 seasons he was with them. Home Depot would find a championship and a win before their competitors, with their first championship coming in 2002. They would then win their second title before Lowe's would collect their first, winning it in 2005. Now that I look back on it, home improvement retailers would win 6 NASCAR Cup Series championships in a row. That's pretty wild. All in all, Stewart and Home Depot would win 32 races together from 1999 to 2008. And thankfully, Home Depot was a secondary sponsor during the 2008 Amp Energy 500 scandal. At least they don't have a win stripped in the dogleg record book. I'm looking at you, Subway. After Stewart would depart the team in 2008 to start his own team, the best thing since sliced bread would take the keys to the Home Depot sponsorship. Joey Logano was slated to be the true heir to the Gibbs Kingdom, one of the most hyped prospects in NASCAR history. Logano would struggle out of the gate, but he would win Home Depot their 33rd trophy in a rain-shortened race at Loudon. Logano would spend the first 4 years of his career with Home Depot and Gibbs from 2009 until 2012. During that time, Logano would get Home Depot their 34th and final Cup Series victory at Pocono in 2012. And I can hear some of you now, but Matt, you just said Logano got Home Depot their last win, but what about Matt Kenseth? Trust me, I felt the exact same way when I researched this video, but it's true. You see, when Matt Kenseth took over the 20 ride in 2013, Home Depot seriously limited their involvement with the sport. What was once a full schedule for the home improvement giant would turn into just 3 primary schemes during the 2013 season. 2014 would be the swan song season for Home Depot in the sport, and they ramped up their involvement compared to a very light 2013. They would be the primary sponsor for 9 races in 2014, and would come close to victory lane one final time, finishing second at Atlanta and Talladega that season. They would send themselves off with a special 15 years of racing paint scheme in their last Cup race. This race was the aforementioned Talladega race, where Kenseth almost made it a perfect ending for the sponsor. This would be the last time we would see Home Depot in the Cup Series, and much like Lowe's, they are sorely missed. And that brings us to the final contender in the home improvement wars. While their numbers aren't the same, they also aren't a national brand, and have had a different strategy in their approach to NASCAR. Let's take a look at the stats for the place where you'll save big money. Menards has 5 total wins, with 1 championship, and they've competed in 691 total races. Menards' debut at the Cup level would be the latest entry of the 3, being a year after Home Depot's arrival in 2000. They would arrive in a unique way, as a team owner with Menards founder John Menard. Team Menard had a presence in IndyCar, being the team that Home Depot driver Tony Stewart would win his lone IndyCar championship with. They would only compete in 18 Cup Series races, all coming in the year 2000. Robbie Gordon would attempt to qualify for 23 races that season, but failed to qualify in 6 of those attempts. The team struggled on the ovals, with 13 of 15 oval races resulting in a sub-top 20 finish. They would be competitive on the road courses though, with Gordon finishing 4th at the Glen and 9th at Sonoma. Menards would then be absent from the sport for 2 seasons before making a lone start in 2003. The son of Menards founder Paul Menard would be the driver, finishing 29th at Watkins Glen. This paint scheme is pretty cool though, I can't lie. And Ryan Blaney threw it back to this scheme in 2020 and man, it looked good. They would again be absent during the 2004 season before coming back in 2005, and this time they were here to stay. From 2005 to 2017, they would sponsor the majority of the season with a couple different drivers, Paul Menard and Robbie Gordon. They didn't experience much success during this time, but they would finally break through and win their first race. The heir to the family business, Paul Menard, would win the 2011 Brickyard 400 for his first and only career win. The next major milestone in Menard's time in the Cup Series would come in 2018, with the arrival of Ryan Blaney at Penske. This partnership with Penske was a major shot in the arm for their success. They now split races between Blaney and Austin Cindric, with Blaney becoming their Jimmy Johnson or Tony Stewart. Blaney has won 4 races with Menards as the primary sponsor, with Menards being the primary sponsor for 21 of the 36 races in 2023. They would get their first Cup Series championship with Blaney. The Menards strategy is different from the Lowe's and Home Depot strategy. They spread their sponsorship around to different drivers and don't sponsor the entire season, much like their competitors in this video. Sure, their stats aren't as great right now, but hey, They don't have any competition on Sunday anymore either. It will certainly take a while for them to catch up in this battle, but with Blaney as their primary driver, I could see them notching plenty more wins in the near future. With the histories of all three sponsors behind us, now let's look at the comparison to crown a winner. I don't think it's any surprise that Lowe's leads in literally every single category. It gets even crazier though when you realize every win and every championship belongs to one driver. At least Home Depot and Menards were able to win with multiple drivers. Still though, it is interesting to think that each of them has really had their superstar and then some other guys in the shadows. With Menards being the only one still in the sport, a Cindric win with Menards as the primary would allow Menards to lead in terms of different winners, and that's something, right? Probably the most surprising stat from all of this is that Matt Kenseth never won with Home Depot as the primary sponsor. I certainly thought he would have. But there you have it. The undisputed champion of the home improvement stores is Lowe's. Who do you think the next sponsor battle should be? Let me know down below. And that's a wrap on the pilot episode of Sponsor Battles. I had a ton of fun with this one, and it's only just the beginning. I have already seen a ton of great suggestions from y'all. Thanks so much. As always, I'm prone to forgetting moments or drivers. Let me know anything I may have missed for this one down below. If you liked the video, consider hitting the like and subscribe button. It helps a ton and I definitely appreciate it. And speaking of subscribing, did you know that 75% of my viewers aren't subscribed, but they are returning viewers? If you keep coming back and haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Be sure to pay attention to the community tab of the channel to vote on the next sponsor battle. We will start honorable mentions for the next one. And thanks as always to the Dogleg team for all of their hard work. Thanks Darksea, Dice, Nino, Jafer, Elite, and The Gamer for all that you do. I couldn't do it without y'all. And we also have a Discord server. Find the invite in the About section of the channel or in the description below. We have over 200 active members and there are great conversations and debates happening every single day. Come join us. We'd love to have you. But that'll do it for us here at Dogleg Media. I'm Matt, your host, and you've been watching Sponsor Battles. I'll see you next time.